Hi there, this is Alex again. I did a video yesterday about chronic fatigue and about how I'd had enough of the illness and how I'm going to go on a 200-day cleanse, getting rid of all the sugars in my body so that I can finally feel better, but also prove to myself and others that ME is an illness which there is actually a cure for, and it's just nutrition. I think quite a lot of money is being spent on trying to find a drug for ME and or the cause of ME, etc. And let me tell you what I believe this is. I sort of touched on it yesterday a tiny bit, but I want to go a little bit more into detail today. I believe that all that ME is, ME or chronic fatigue syndrome, is an overgrowth of candida in the bloodstream. Let me explain that. Candida is a fungus. It's sort of one cell organism, a yeast that basically thrives on sugar. And we have it in our gut all the time. Healthy, very, very, very healthy people have a little bit of Candida albicans in their gut. You need it there. But when your diet gets out of hand, when this Candida gets fed a lot of sugar, or if you are on a course of antibiotics which upset the balance that you should have of these good and bad bacteria, etc. Something triggers it, and this Candida just multiplies a little bit more than it should, and it ends up somehow in your bloodstream. Once the Candida is in your bloodstream, the Candida can go anywhere. It starts to travel, from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, and you get all sorts of little sort of fungal infections like athlete's foot or thrush in the mouth, and it just gets treated as a one-off symptom. So they might give you a cream for the athlete's foot or whatever, but it's not talked about that actually the cause of this is a fungal overgrowth. In fact, a doctor I went to see even said, you know what, we all know it's Candida, but there isn't a pill I can give you for it, so we can't diagnose it. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said, well, you need some Candida in the blood, so if I gave you a pill to get rid of Candida, of that particular bacteria, I wouldn't be doing you any favours, because you need some. So if you killed it all, you'd be in no better place. You'd be in the opposite place, but still not a healthy place. And I can't give you a pill that kills 85% of it. There isn't one. And so I can't help you. And I don't think he was supposed to say that, because I think a lot of doctors are kind of taught to say that maybe Candida isn't really the cause. Because let's face it, a lot of pharmaceutical companies do make a lot of money out of a lot of people being sick. I talked yesterday about Dr. Young and how he cures loads of people with just nutrition, starving the Candida, the yeast and the fungus, as well as reclaiming your inner terrain. He's reversed diabetes. He's reversed cancer. Now, if you imagine the amount of money that is being spent daily, just in the UK and US alone, on people that are on diabetes and are on insulin daily, why on earth would any pharmaceutical company want anyone to know that they don't need to buy insulin every day anymore? That those, 2 million people, probably more, don't need to buy insulin every single day. I'm not sure that they would. I'm not trying to be all conspiracy theorist here, but it is very, very true that pharmaceutical companies do make a lovely bit of profit, and I'm sure that at the end of the year they've got a balance sheet, and if everyone cured themselves and healed themselves through nutrition, they'd be out of business. So that's got to cross their minds. So anyway, candida. I'm not just saying this because I suddenly woke up one day and I decided that I had candida. I actually, when I said that I went to the doctors lots of times about my symptoms, etc., and they kept sending me home saying that I was just tired and there was nothing wrong with me and I was a little bit stressed, or maybe I was just a little bit anemic and things like that, I really one day decided to take my health into my own hands. And I think that's a really important step, because if you give all the responsibility of your own health to your doctor, you have no power. You feel absolutely powerless to do anything about your illness. But if you step up and start learning and finding out about what you've got, then you feel that you've got hope. And I thought that that was a very worthwhile step to take, with the help of my husband, who was really supportive. He was actually the one who got online and said, right, we've had enough. And he started entering all of my symptoms. And he suddenly came across this candida organization that said, you know, if you've got all of these symptoms, you might have candida. You might want to take this questionnaire to find out. And obviously there are better ways of finding out if you've got candida, but the questionnaire was just sort of the first step. And of course I came out through the roof as having candida just on paper. It was something like, if you have more than 150 points, you definitely have candida. I had something like 290 or something stupid. So I thought, right, okay, this is great. I have a name for it. There is something, you know, that I can tackle here. I can do something. If I know what it is, then I can do something about it. So I went to see this great lady who was the candida specialist in my area, and she said, yes, you know, you definitely have candida, because, you know, we talked about my symptoms, etc. And I started to understand how nutrition could help me, because the candida is a fungus. How does the fungus keep alive? Because we feed it sugar. If you starve this fungus of sugar, it will just die. It's as simple as that. If you stop eating sugar, the candida will die and you will get better. I promise you this. I've done it. The challenge is, it doesn't happen overnight. And you know, you might have more candida than you think, or you might have less. I have quite advanced candida. I mean, it's actually grown so much. It's grown roots in my muscles. It's in my brain. I know it sounds disgusting, but this is what it is. And just quickly, I want to tell you how I know for absolute sure that I've got candida, because it's not just a questionnaire, but I actually saw it in my blood. I went to see a fantastic lady called Kate Avard, who is what we call a microscopist. She has actually trained with Dr. Robert Young, who I told you about yesterday. And what she will do, or what any microscopist will do, is they will prick your finger and they will get a drop of your blood out, and they will put it straight away under the microscope, right there, right then in front of you. And you will be able to see your blood live, still alive, moving around, with the red blood cells moving around and the white blood cells moving around and everything that is going on. And it was very, very obvious that in my blood there were lots of little bits of white yeast and fungus that were taking up quite a lot of space and quite a lot of my energy. And I was feeding it. Every time I was having sugars, fruit, carbohydrates, which are processed as sugar, I was just feeding it. So I hope that that gives you a little bit more of an insight into the diet that I'm doing, and I am on day 2 now. You know, feel free to comment on this video and feel free to ask questions. I would love to have your support and to do this with you. And if there's anyone who's got the symptoms out there, or who's got me and wants to give this a go, please message me. Find me on Facebook. My name is Alex Santoro-Emmerson, and I would be very happy to go through this with you. Thank you so much, and bye bye.